What's on your mind?
I was wondering, what do you think about Jeff Bezos' wedding?
From one angle, it was a once-in-a-lifetime love celebration, full of romance, joy, curated abundance, and theatrical moments fit for the social media era. From another angle, it epitomized extreme wealth in a fragile, overcrowded historic city, and provoked backlash that signals deeper frustrations with inequality and elitism.
Good morning, guys. People would just not let go of Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos' wedding. So I was like, let me give you my cup of tea on this subject. But happy Sunday. Just a really casual talk about what can we learn from this situation, and let's analyze why people are so triggered. I mean, they're just beside themselves. Well, first of all, when people are reacting so strongly, especially when they're criticizing, when they've been so negative and a little bit verbally abusive, even, that doesn't say much about Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. I think that says about the people. One of the universe law is the law of oneness. And what is possible for one is possible for all. And people don't seem to realize that, and people don't seem to live by that. But basically, when something is possible for one, don't be jealous, don't criticize. If it's possible for them, it's very much possible for you. Instead of being jealous, be inspired. And when something good is happening to other people, whatever you're portraying, and if you're choosing to be hateful, that's what's going to come your way. Just my advice is learn to be very grateful and thankful, appreciative, and happy for other people. If they're having the time of their life, this is their moment to shine. Be happy for them and trust that the same will come for you. And also, there's another law of the universe, another unwritten law of the universe, and that is the mirror, the law of mirror. People are mirroring their inside world, and what they're portraying on the outside is just a mask of their inside world. If they're jealous, that's most likely because they are unhappy with their own love life or financial life. And it seems like we have two people here that are very happily in love. They're putting their love on display, and people are just hating. Why? Because not everybody has that area of their life figured out. Not everybody is happy with their finances or their love life, and they're just hating on them because they're reflecting their inside world. Perhaps this is something that they need to work on. This is something they need to figure it out. But instead of being happy for them and working on themselves, it's just easier to just hate and just spread their negativity and their criticism and perhaps jealousy. And what are they really hating on? They're hating because they spend a lot of money on the wedding. I mean, this is their own money. They work so hard for them. If that's what they want to do with their money, they're entitled to. Another thing they're hating on Lauren Sanchez is her cosmetic procedures. Guys, she's getting procedures because obviously she's a little bit insecure. If people are a little bit more kind and a little bit more loving, perhaps she would not be putting so much Botox and so much fillers and putting so much effort into looking young when she's obviously 55 years old, and the mark of life is having a trace on her face, and that's a beautiful mark. Why people are so judgmental of people aging, and then if people want to do something about it, they're so judgmental about her procedures. This is her life, this is her face, and perhaps she realized she did a little bit too much. Don't you think that she's realizing that? She's aware of it, and people are pointing out at it and commenting and hating and making a huge deal out of it. It's just making the matter worse. Make her feel that she's loved and cared and beautiful just the way it is, and perhaps she'll do a little bit less. But we all as society are so critical of the physical appearances, especially for women, that this is what's happening. If we're supportive to one another, we'll see a lot less of that. So I think instead of hating on her appearance, just be loving and caring. And then I'm just blown away of the reaction that the celebrities are doing. Katie Couric, really? I mean, why Are you commenting on a Vogue cover and specifically on a dress that is actually made by world-renowned designer Dolce & Gabbana? I'm actually happy that for once Lauren Sanchez kept her boobs inside her dress. I think her dress is very classy and elegant and really accentuate her waist. And I think she looks beautiful. It's her wedding day, guys. Give it to her. Why hating on her Vogue cover? Be happy for her. Perhaps that was a dream of hers and now she finally made it. Another celebrity that just couldn't keep her mouth shut, Rosie O'Donnell. I'm sorry, but what is she has to say about these people? Again, I remember headlines about Rosie, that her daughter ran out of the house. I don't think that Lauren Sanchez is interested in trashing her and saying that she's a bad mother. Why are you doing that to these people that are just in love? And people are like, oh my God, everybody was invited to their wedding. People are very hateful. When you're this rich, everybody has an opinion about your personal life. So, including Charlize Theron. What a beautiful actress. You think that she has it all figured it out. She has the beauty, the brains. She has a successful career. She has the money. And what is she choosing to do? Hating on their wedding. Why? That's another thing that just shows that she has unresolved issues on herself. Whenever you choose to talk bad about people, that only talks bad about yourself. You think that going out there and bashing them is going to do any justice. No, this only shows your internal world. And I know as a fact that Charlene has a lot of problems in her personal life. She grew up quite poor. There was some domestic violence. If I'm not mistaken, her mother shot her father. So perhaps she has men problems for life. But why are you not using the resources that you have to keep working on yourself quietly instead of going on Call Her Daddy and saying that you slept with 26 years old? And again, I'm not judging, but this is just a sign. Charlene, you have your problems and focus on them. Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos are not busy talking about you. Why are you talking about them with all the money that you have, with all the connections that you have, with all the beauty that God gave you? Why are you doing that? And then lastly, if you take consideration how much money they make every year, I think they were actually quite mindful of the money they spend on their wedding. I think if you do the ratio and you work up what people are earning on average and what they spend on average, the ratio is not going to be so beneficial to the regular Joe out there. How much money he made last year?
In 2024, he had a capital gain of about $13.6 billion from Amazon stock sales. Another estimate said he earned around $8 million per hour in 2024, so roughly $70 billion over the year.
What percentage he spent on his wedding from his earnings last year?
If we take wedding cost $50 million, earnings $13.6 billion, then the wedding budget equals roughly 50 million more 13.6 billion, 0.37%. So he spent less than 0.5% of his realized gains. Even rounding more generously to say 70 billion total income, it's still well under 0.1%.
I have another question.
Sure thing. What's your next question?
What percentage on average people spend on their wedding?
Great question. On average, people in the US tend to spend about half their annual income on a wedding, so roughly 40 to 50%. For example, if someone makes around $60,000 a year, it's not unusual to see weddings costing between $25,000 and $30,000.
So basically, on average, people spend half of their income on weddings, and he spent less than 1%. And people have so much to say. Well, let me tell you, when you start earning the way he does, then you can have a say-so in how much you spend. Thanks for watching another episode of I'm Antoniya. Happy Sunday!